Men who have completely stopped dating. What made you stop dating people?
Wingardium Leviosa.
Daughter got cancer. Thought wife and I were working through it. Daughter off treatment for a year and wife decides her depression makes her not care for me anymore and shacks up with another guy while abandoning me and the daughter. Broke my confidence and created a need to defend myself and child. Don't feel comfortable reaching that level of infancy with another person.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Being alone is addictive. The longer I'm alone, the more set in my ways I become, and the less likely I am to change how I have my life set up. Dating and relationships are all about compromise, and right now my peace and quiet and routine isn't worth the upsides of being in a relationship. Maybe one day it will be.
Wingardium Leviosa.
I tried, probably too much. Friends told me to stop trying so hard and love would find me. Stopped trying so hard, love hasn't found me in over 15 years. Not even a date. Can't find it in me to try anymore. I now live in a tiny town 70 kilometers from any urban area. Unless you grew up knowing people here, which I didn't, everybody has already met everybody and chosen partners. I've given up really. I'm nearly 40 now and it seems like my chances for dating are over.
Wingardium Leviosa.
I realized a lot of traumas and insecurities I had were one. Driving me to seek out awful relationships 2. Causing me to have an outlook on life that was bringing me the opposite of the kind of life I wanted 3. Causing me to hurt others. It's been a long, hard journey. But I'm getting there.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Same here, happened to me in 2020. Doesn't feel worth it. Edit, since this gonna be near the top of my Reddit profile, I just wanna say that I'm fine. I just don't have any desire to seek romance. It definitely feels super exhausting. I thought me and my ex were going to be together forever. If something happens, great. I just don't want to put in the effort when I can enjoy myself doing other things.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Some would probably say this is putting myself down, but it's my honest opinion. I would like a woman who is truly compatible with me and attractive. This woman would be a catch. But I also know what I gotta be able to bring to the table. I'm 33, I live with my mother, I'm missing most of my back teeth, I have no higher education, I have no assets, and I have no money. I have a car and a shitty job slightly above minimum wage but still poverty level. I'm in the process of getting dental implants for my back teeth top and bottom, but it's expensive paying as I go. Renting a house would be essentially 70% of my income with roommates, so instead I continue living with my mother. She owns her house and it's only her, but I understand the stigma. So I'm working on my teeth. I will eventually go back to school when I can afford to work part-time after teeth. All that said, I am a huge
Wingardium Leviosa.
project. I don't think I will find love and that's just okay. Maybe my life will turn around, but I will be in my 40s and more than likely still broke.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Mine's 2019. Seeing this made me feel a little better for some reason.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Tight, I can't give much help in the scheme of things with another person. I'm not saying I have to pay their bills or anything, but I'd just like to know that I can provide for them. Mine is from 2019 too, thought I was going to marry that girl. Then I had a small but very toxic situationship in 2021, but other than that, I haven't done anything with a woman since, nothing physical nor emotional. I would like a girlfriend, but I know I need to work more on myself, and also I'm just terrible at dating apps, or publicly meeting someone while out. Confidence is terrible, self-esteem is terrible, and I plain old don't know what to say and get nervous. But hey, I've found some happiness within myself, and can be happy alone, so no worries, I'll be perfectly okay. Edit, Also to add that myself, I'm sure some others, but I don't speak for anyone but myself, are on a financial clock. Just like women follow a biological clock on kids, marriage etc. I just feel financial I can't support having someone in my life when I can comfortably support myself, even though money can be.
Wingardium Leviosa.
2017 for me. Still don't really care enough to try.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Same. It feels pointless. I thought I had a pretty good thing going with my last relationship, and it amounted to nothing in the end. Why bother trying if something like that can be discarded so easily? Now, it feels like dating is a game that people exploit for validation. It's all a waste of energy.
Wingardium Leviosa.
I realized I was dating out of fear. I went on dates all the time because I was scared to stop dating, to stop putting myself out there, and especially to become so reclusive that I'd die old and alone. Dating was just compounding the fear. Each failed date added to the fears of dying alone. But now that I've stopped dating, I've had a chance to see the pattern and break it. Now I'm trying to find a partner without dating, and it's been way more relaxing and enjoyable.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Interests can change over time. Dating is costs versus rewards. I think it's important to ask yourself what you're truly dating for, goals, how important those goals are to you, the costs of dating relative to those goals, and if it's worth it. For many, the answer is no, especially over time.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Filing that for years I had to rent temporary places at tens of thousands of dollars at my expense because I was hoping to make it work. So I got to the point pretty quickly then that we were breaking up. She was very surprised that she had to pay me out of the house. She was doubly surprised that since I gave up a lucrative career for her career that I didn't owe her anything, and she was triply surprised that I fought tooth and nail for every moment I could have with the kids. I make it work co-parenting with her and she's gotten better, but she still tries to use the kids as leverage. That's disgusting. When I was at my lowest point and having serious suicidal ideations that I told her about, my wife of 13 years cut me out of her life entirely. She refused to let me back in the house with the threat of divorce if I tried. I spent 2 years living separately on and off while still trying to take care of the kids. I always thought that we'd reconcile given 13 years of marriage and me following her to 3 different states for her job while giving up career opportunities to follow her. I lived in a sober living house for a while, always with the idea that when I was better I might get to live back in my home and with my wife and kids. She continued with the threat of divorce if I tried to even spend the night at our house. She then filed for divorce and used the fact that I hadn't lived in the house as a reason I should have to pay her to keep the house. She did not mention in her
Wingardium Leviosa.
dating pool is grim. No one is serious anymore. Dating feels more like social networking. As soon as you want to become exclusive, they back out and run straight to the app's extreme double standards. Everyone seems to be figuring out their dating goals. WTF is golden retriever energy. No one wants to put in the necessary effort to grow a relationship, they'd rather start a new one. Fun story. Dated this woman for 6 months, things were going well, and out of nowhere she said this guy she met on Tinder, WTF, wanted to take her to a concert. When I asked why she was on Tinder when we were in a relationship together, she replied, "It's not like that, you're being toxic. I see zero point in sacrificing any more of my time/sanity."
Wingardium Leviosa.
There's pee in the dating pool.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Go on.
Wingardium Leviosa.
The prevailing culture of individualistic materialism and celebration of narcissism poisoned the well. Enough people aren't any longer equipped mentally to form lasting bonds in a high enough fraction that a social phase transition occurred, fundamentally altering the structure of what one could call the bonding ecology, such that it's statistically too improbable for any one individual to find lasting success that people stop, causing a run-on effect which snowballs. In physics we call that a phase transition. The well has not only been poisoned, that poison has melted it. My 2 penny take anyway.
Wingardium Leviosa.
We were planning the wedding and then after 9.5 years she cheated on me with another dude, and then got re-engaged to that dude, after only knowing him for 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm done for now.
Wingardium Leviosa.
This may sound like an empty platitude, and maybe it is. You're lucky you found out now rather than after the wedding. My unsolicited advice is to go full ghost mode on her. Just break all contact and start over. I wasn't quite where you were, but I know what heartbreak and betrayal feel like. I wish I had gone full incommunicado earlier. But I held out a bit of useless hope that just made the pain last longer. Now, I don't give a fuck about her at all. Time does his most wounds, but you have to help it.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Haven't been willing or interested in starting a new relationship since my last one ended because it took such a toll on me. I haven't quite recovered, yet. If a soldier breaks his leg in battle, he doesn't get sent back until his leg heals up. I wouldn't be a worthy candidate as a partner right now even if I wanted to date or if someone was interested in me. I'm still a bit of a liability and I don't want anyone to get hurt.
Wingardium Leviosa.
I know women generally dislike dudes who hate doing shit like actually going out on dates and reading stories about it online make it sound so daunting. I won't dare destroy my mental health and try online dating. And meeting new people is such a chore. I have enough distractions that dating is at the very bottom of the list.
Wingardium Leviosa.
A lot of modern dating is just depressing. On apps, I'll get maybe 5 out of 100 matched, many of which are bots. A lot of dating apps feel like being those birds that have to be flashy and dance. In person, sometimes, women will think I'm weird just for approaching them in a bar. Maybe it's just me actually being weird unintentionally, I don't know. Aside from initial impressions, I'm disabled. The older I get, the less interest people show in me. A woman might like me, but she also has to consider the fact that I'm not financially stable because of mental health issues. The episodes related to bipolar disorder are also a big negative.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Too much unreciprocated effort. Dating world is completely lopsided. If I meet someone by chance, great. But I'm not playing a game that feels rigged in someone else's favor.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Yep, it feels like applying for a job at this point.
Wingardium Leviosa.
LinkedIn is kind of a reverse Tinder where the nerdy guys are ghosting the HR chicks. Although it does give me a bit of an insight into what might be being a woman on a dating app. Like, of course I won't bother to respond to N+1 cookie cutter messages that didn't even look into my profile beyond the surface level. Oh, he has a programming language that we use glance, which might be the equivalent of a woman not bothering with typing out a response to you hot let's fuck.
Wingardium Leviosa.
I think it's a mix between how great my last relationship was, and having to chase after people. My last serious relationship was literally perfect. We were best friends, had so many common interests, and did practically everything together. But we were young, and due to family issues ended up having to move away from each other. Tried to stay in touch but it eventually fell apart. Even though I'm over her, I don't see the point of dating anyone else unless I get the same dynamic as before. Like your sex is nice, but after a while you just want to enjoy being with someone. Except nowadays, it seems the vast majority of women don't want this sort of dynamic. It's so weird. It's like if they see you as a friend, they somehow can't see you as a boyfriend. I noticed the moment I start acting friendly and close with them, they suddenly lose interest. So yeah. I think I'm done.
Wingardium Leviosa.
I've got you beat. I haven't been in a relationship since my breakup in 2010. I'm female though. I had my heart ripped out and stomped on. I'm broken as well. Take care of yourself.
Wingardium Leviosa.
I'm approaching a decade dateless, was in a few-year relationship prior, was engaged, then wasn't, and probably for the best. That itself didn't break me entirely, certainly didn't help, but I emerged even a bit hopeful to try again. But the ensuing years, one by one, of receiving no further interest from anyone or any hint of a prospect, thoroughly eroded my sense of being wantable. Add to that becoming a caregiver living at home with my parents, and the combination of esteem and circumstance has curb-stomped all vestige of hope of finding someone at this point.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Dates were so shallow that if they were a pool you wouldn't even be able to drown yourself. There's just so many girl bosses spouting the same repetitive media-fed opinions, and I've tried to steer conversations to make them talk about anything close to their experiences or beliefs or anything that might show me a sliver of personality, and there's nothing there. They don't even have hobbies, they just binge-watch TikTok or Netflix. I even ghosted my last date, told her I was sorry and wasn't feeling it, and deleted every app I had. But I'm traditional, I want a wife and I want kids, so I'll probably reinstall them soon because I don't get to meet many women outside of apps, since most of my hobbies are nerdy and comprised of 99% guys. I feel as if I've lowered my standards to the minimum. I laugh when people post their preferences and they list alive, breathing, etc. Heck, I've taken out. I'm in my 20s and I consider myself an average-looking guy. I dress well in moderately expensive clothes. I'm tall and have more of a dad bod. I have a stable job and make a good wage. I'm smart, can hold my own in a conversation and usually make people laugh, and for the love of me I can't get a girlfriend. I've had nice dates with women in restaurants, I've gone bowling, I've tried the movies, shit just doesn't work. Dating apps are the worst. I've been telling myself it's a numbers game. Stats show that guys get around 2% matches, and I agree with that statistic. It feels representative, though it's only about 20% of people who will actually answer me. I've tried about 7 different apps, with Tinder actually giving the best results. But just to recap, out of 100 women I will only ever have a conversation with 0.4 of them. The worst part is 80% of the women I have actually brought on.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Girls I wasn't even attracted to. I can't help but feel that Gen Z women suck. I know there's good ones out there. My pal has an amazing girl and I'm so happy for him. I just wanna find mine already, you know.
Wingardium Leviosa.
The last woman drained me, in every sense of the word. I got into that relationship with the intention of sharing my world. Now I just want to preserve and enjoy what I have left, without the obligation of a human leech and her various children from multiple men.
Wingardium Leviosa.
I've never been unhappy alone. I've been living on my own for like 11 years and now I might be too independent, and although I think a partner could further enhance my life, just the idea of how much effort it'd take really turns me off. The idea of going off for a romantic weekend trip is nice, but I kinda dread living with another person for the other 5 days.
Wingardium Leviosa.
I get really attached, thanks, childhood trauma, so when it doesn't work out I spiral into a depression. I'm also really shy, which makes dating a little difficult. Like I told my friend one time, it would be so easy with her because we could just skip the dating phase. I'm not friend-zoned, we just live on opposite sides of the country.
Wingardium Leviosa.
I don't feel the need for it. I feel fine by myself and have good friends to spend time with. And I feel like actively dating almost always ends in chaos of some sort. Mind you, I'm still in my early 20s, so things may change, but right now the thought of never finding someone doesn't bother me because thanks to my friends I will never be lonely, and that's all I need.
Wingardium Leviosa.
I got cancer. Wife decides to leave me as she doesn't want to be my caretaker and admitted she had multiple affairs. We split 50-50. She tries to get caught to split my 50% again. I loved and trusted her for 12 years. It was all a lie to use me. I won't be used again.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Can I actually commit to a relationship? I've been alone for so unreasonably long that it'd be an uphill battle to change now, making my space someplace I could welcome others, sharing my time with others, and opening up and being open emotionally for others. Would I actually connect with someone, or would I just be wishing to be alone again? So yeah, while I want a special connection with someone and have thought about putting in the effort to look, even though I have no idea where to start, another strike against me, the thought of reciprocated affection is so foreign to me I don't know if I can accept it. Honestly, I've never dated. I've always had some sort of reason not to, like too broke, too little time, living at home, no car. But now when I think about it, about the idea of someone showing genuine interest in me, it feels wrong. Like I can't accept it. If a girl were to come up to me tomorrow and say, "Hey, I think you're cute. Want to go out sometime?" I genuinely don't know if I could. Someone being interested in me goes against everything I've ever known, so clearly something's not right. I'd constantly be worried if I'm up to par, my situation hasn't improved much. Plus now I'm also starting to bald. And is this the right person for me? I've heard so many horror stories of lives being completely ruined by some evil/crazy bitch. And even she's not evil, will we actually get along, or is one of us hoping to fake it till we make it? Which is not how it's done, and to that end.
Wingardium Leviosa.
NGL, a part of me is extremely disenchanted with dating in general, and the quality of women available in my area. I haven't reached the point of giving up entirely, but I have taken breaks before and I'm currently taking a break. I'm even taking a break from a willing FWB because I'm feeling unfulfilled from the lack of common interests and conversation. You'd think it'd be amazing to have a girl ready to slurp on the snake pretty much weekly, and my being a fat dude that I should be grateful for it. Instead I'm focused on the lack of an emotional connection, lol.
Wingardium Leviosa.
I buried everyone by 24, people find reasons to be hurtful and ugly to one another, especially socially acceptable ways of doing so. Trust. I'd rather hang out with a horse and have them listen to me, wonderful listeners, poor conversationalists. Maybe they'll brain me with a hoof one day, but they'll never lie, manipulate or steal. They're honest with what they are. I know what to expect.
Wingardium Leviosa.
For some people dating is so hard and the results so poor that it does not make sense to bother about it.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Yeah, it is easy to become invisible to women. Having an average appearance, or worse, and lacking the marketing skills to convince a girl you're worth her time can do this. Most of the girls, even the mediocre, are surrounded by men's proposals, at least just for sex. They don't have the time to wait for average man to muster the courage to put himself out there and possibly get rejected.
Wingardium Leviosa.
The last 3 people I dated turned out to be cheating on their so with me without my knowledge, and cut ties with me cold turkey once they were caught, and I kinda just went, "Huh, that can't just be a coincidence, right?" And decided to just focus on other shit. Mind you, 3 completely different age groups, one a year younger, another 9 years younger, and the other was 6 years older, so it's not like I can just blame a generation.
Wingardium Leviosa.
My life goals don't involve a family, so to deny that to most women just doesn't seem fair. Now if I could find someone not interested in having children, then we got a different story.
Wingardium Leviosa.
There are plenty of women who don't want children either. You just have to be honest and upfront and respectful about bringing up the topic, but you will find there's a significant amount that don't want kids. I've dated multiple women who felt like that and am engaged to one, a great woman now, who doesn't want kids. We have cats instead. For me, the trick is, again, just being open and honest and upfront with your plans to not have kids. You don't want to waste anyone's time and you don't want yours wasted, so best to discuss it early. When I was dating, I would bring it up on the second or third date. Plenty of women want kids, so I wasn't a match with those ones, but I can assure you there's a significant portion who don't want them and are looking for a guy who feels the same.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Well-paying prestigious job, lots of hobbies, previously married many years ago, and in long-term relationships since, etc. I think part of it is turning 40. That seemed to kill it all off. Part of it is having a daughter, who lives abroad with my long-divorced ex. The rest? The dating app scene is just absolutely stone-cold dead for people like me, i.e. not super attractive, in the party scene, etc. A solid year on 3 dating sites with no significant attempt at connection from others. Done it many times over my life and never had a problem, always got interest, chats etc. and meetups. Don't expect dating out of it, but some semblance of contact would have been nice this time around. 3 major sites. Profile with photos and text about myself. Premium subscription to each for several months. 1 date. With the most bigoted woman I've ever met, who only wanted to discuss her regret at turning down a threesome with an ex that she clearly wasn't over. About 10 to 15 likes across all 3 sites, about 5 messages, none of which went past 2 replies. I swiped thousands and contacted hundreds. Nothing. I haven't changed in appearance, I changed my writing style and profile on each a few times, and my situation hasn't changed for the worse in the last 10 years. Homeowner?
Wingardium Leviosa.
Modern people are not worth pursuing. Nobody wants a partner, they want the literal best in every category because they were raised on 3 concepts: only the best is good enough, vanity matters more than connection, and you don't need to change anything about yourself to deserve the best. It's tiring. It's painful. It's futile. Take a look at the Tinder sub for a few extreme examples. The women think they're entitled to a 6-foot-plus millionaire cologne model that worships the ground they walk on. The men want a flawless and perfect sandwich-making machine with huge boobs and no vocal cords.
Hey guys, this is the Rogue YouTuber here. I recently had a big change in my life. I had a baby daughter. Here she is. If you could do me a favor and remember to hit the subscribe button and bang the bell, I'm hoping to really create a YouTube channel that really gets people excited and brings people the best, most interesting content collated from across the internet. I'm saving up to save my little girl to Carnegie Mellon Computer Science Department, so please remember to like and subscribe. See you next time.